A veteran wrestler dead at only 66 years old, Roman Reigns is a part-timer. He should not win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho is not returning to pro wrestling soon. Workplace environment complaint filed against the WWE. Seth Rollins quietly deals with a severe neck issue, and much, much more. Let's start off with Roman Reigns is a part-timer. He should not win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. Despite appearing sporadically throughout the year, former undisputed WWE champion Roman Reigns remains one of the favorites to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. He's still one of the company's biggest stars and among the most popular performers, but he's the most notable part-timer outside of Brock Lesnar. The Tribal Chief won the 2015 Royal Rumble, but given how officials book him, he could join the multiple winners club this year. Despite ties to both current major title holders on Raw and SmackDown, Reigns should not win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble for the next 4 reasons. Number 1, he's a part-timer. The simplest explanation as to why Roman Reigns should not win the 2026 Royal Rumble is that he's a part-timer and has been one for the last 6 years. His many returns throughout the year have become a running joke. The Tribal Chief returns a few weeks before a big PLE competes, and then leaves for a few months. This happens either of his own accord after War Games or as a result of an attack, Clash in Paris. He was gone between WrestleMania 41 and SummerSlam due to a different attack. Whether it's his negotiated schedule or his filming a movie, part-time stars should not be major champions in 2026. The roster is filled with enough stars to hold each title. Number 2, WWE has several better options. Each Royal Rumble usually has 4 or 5 favorites to win. If he's in the match, Roman Reigns is a heavy favorite. If there weren't any other deserving options, his win in Saudi Arabia wouldn't be a huge issue. The problem, however, is that there are several worthy names. LA Knight deserves a marquee moment and a major title run instead of playing second fiddle to Jey Uso on Raw. Sami Zayn is the underdog of the underground for a reason, and the never won a major title storyline has been heavily teased over the past year. He's also immensely popular in Saudi Arabia. Braun Breaker joining the list of Rumble winners is better for the current and future state of WWE. AJ Styles might retire at the end of 2026 and hasn't won the Royal Rumble. Gunther has been built into one of WWE's top heels. There are plenty of other options instead of relying on Reigns. Number 3, his 4-year title run was more than enough. Winning the Royal Rumble doesn't guarantee a star will win a title at the Showcase of the Immortals. Jey Uso made good on his win, while Charlotte Flair fell to Tiffany Stratton last year after winning the Women's Rumble. Only a handful of stars win major titles, and even fewer win a Royal Rumble. Reigns already had 4 years atop WWE, necessitating the return of the World Heavyweight Championship. He had his time atop WWE and even had multiple title wins before his huge reign from 2020 to 2024. Even as the title holder, the Tribal Chief came and went as much as he did in 2025. Officials should rely on full-time title holders going forward. Number 4, WWE needs to build others for the WrestleMania main event spot. Many WWE fans forgot that CM Punk hadn't main evented WrestleMania before his 2023 return. Despite 5 major title victories in his first stint, Punk took a backseat to John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, The Rock, and Triple H. The emotional reaction to finally getting a WrestleMania main event was real during the build-up to last year's show. When it comes to the head of the table, he's closed a night of WrestleMania on 10 occasions. That's overkill in and of itself. WWE must start putting others in the prime spot in main event title matches at the Showcase of the Immortals to build them into megastars. How else will others join the club if the same person stands atop the ladder every year? It's well past time to plan for WWE after Reigns leaves, and having someone else win the Royal Rumble would be a good first step. Chris Jericho is not returning to pro wrestling soon. There is a lot of talk about Chris Jericho right now, and for good reason. We've received internal updates on what Chris Jericho is up to, but nothing official has broken. His busy schedule will certainly make any sort of return to the ring difficult. As of January 14th, the idea of Chris Jericho showing up in WWE again feels less like an if and more like a when. His contract with All Elite Wrestling was thought to have expired on December 31st, 2025, making him a free agent for the first time in years. A full-time WWE return happening right now doesn't quite line up with reality. Jericho isn't easing into retirement hours or clearing his calendar for a nostalgia run. He's about to be very, very busy, and not just not in a wrestling ring. His band Fozzy kicks off the Eyes on You tour in February 2026, with dates stacked across the UK and beyond. That's not a weekend hobby. That's a full touring commitment that eats weeks at a time. That doesn't mean wrestling is off the table. Rumors have pointed to a possible WWE appearance as early as January 2026, while others continue to float TNA wrestling as a viable option. Taking all of this into consideration, it is still possible for Chris Jericho to make the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia on January 31st. That being said, if he would return during that Saudi show, he wouldn't be able to stay as any sort of regular on WWE television for at least a month due to his Fozzy commitments. Only time will tell what Chris Jericho does next. The rumor mill is still churning with his name attached. This will undoubtedly bring a lot of attention whenever the 55-year-old shoe-in Hall of Famer shows up next in the pro wrestling world. Lash Legend's wedding with Trick Williams leaks. Lash Legend is already deep into wedding planning, and she's loving every second of it. Just weeks after Trick Williams surprised her with a Thanksgiving proposal in front of their families, the WWE superstar sat down on the Babyfaces podcast and gave fans a joyful update on how things are going behind the scenes. And yes, the wedding wheels are already in motion. It's just a beautiful feeling. It was such an amazing time, and I'm so grateful, Lash said, glowing. Trick Williams, which y'all know him as, he is my fiancé. We're just overwhelmed with so much joy, so much happiness, and so many blessings. The two NXT standouts have made the leap to SmackDown together, which Lash says makes life and love on the road much easier. We get to travel the world together and do what we love. We have amazing careers. It's just an exciting time for us. When asked if the wedding planning has officially started, Lash didn't hesitate, as she made it clear she has been full throttle in that regard, though she hasn't announced the date yet. Oh, I've been full throttle. Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't announced the date yet, but I'm excited. We're going to get this thing going. Everybody has been so supportive. My family and his family, everyone is all on board. Fans first got a look at their real-life love story on November 28th, 2025, when a video surfaced of Trick Williams proposing to Lash in a packed living room during Thanksgiving. Her shocked reaction, their embrace, and the massive ring quickly made the rounds online, drawing love from across the wrestling world. With their WWE careers skyrocketing and their personal lives in sync, Lash and Trick are building a true power couple legacy inside and outside the ring. And judging by Lash's enthusiasm, this wedding might be just as unforgettable as one of their main event matches. Are you excited to see Trick Williams and Lash Legend tie the knot? What kind of wedding do you think they'll have? Glam, destination, or full-on wrestling themed? Workplace environment complaint filed against the WWE. Drew McIntyre alleged in December 2025 that WWE had a hostile and unsafe working environment. Now, the newly crowned undisputed champion has been joined by a former United States champion, Austin Theory, who has also made a workplace environment complaint. Notably, A-Town posted a tweet on X in support of Bron Breakker, where he called Adam Pearce the initial aggressor in an altercation between Breakker and Pearce. In response to the tweet, the Raw general manager called Theory an idiot. Clapping back, the former US champion tagged WWE and wrote that Pearce was misusing his position and authority to call him names. He even asked the Stamford-based promotion to take action to keep Pearce's unprofessional behavior in check. As my general manager, you call me names from your position of power. At WWE really needs to do something about your behavior. Raw saw Pearce suspend Bron Breakker for putting his hands on him during the show. The GM was already mad at Breakker for interfering in Penta and Dragon Lee versus Bronson Reed and Austin Theory's match. However, Pearce went livid when the dog of WWE turned on him while he tried to control the situation. Paul Heyman immediately went into damage control mode and separated him from the GM with the help of Bronson Reed. He also apologized to Pearce on behalf of the Steiner Dynasty wrestler. But when Pearce levied an indefinite suspension on Breakker, the Oracle dropped his apologetic demeanor. He turned to the GM and said that, from his vantage point, Pearce had put his hands on the former two-time Intercontinental Champion first. The Wiseman had previously succeeded in tricking Nick Aldis into lifting the suspension of Drew McIntyre for the 2025 Survivor Series. It would be interesting to see whether he would be able to do the same in the case of Breakker. WWE is pushing a narrative against Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker had a heated exchange with Adam Pearce this past Monday on WWE Raw. Paul Heyman has taken to social media to criticize the company's social media team. WWE posted a clip of Breakker's exchange with Pearce and claimed that the former Intercontinental Champion's actions were uncalled for. Heyman didn't take the post kindly and claimed that the video shared was cleverly edited, as it didn't highlight Pearce's physical assault on his Vision stablemate. Heyman left a comment on the post and called out WWE for pushing a narrative against Breakker. The unadulterated bias being displayed by WWE's very own social media should be addressed publicly, and I am both compelled and constrained to do so right here and now. This was so uncalled for. In all candor, your clever editing of this clip to not include Raw General Manager Adam Pearce's physical assault on Bron Breakker first is an affront to the unbiased presentation you are supposed to disseminate to the public through this platform. Shame on you, WWE, for allowing your pathetic social media team to take such a slanted approach. And to also be blunt, the use of caps is at best improper, and at the very least a vulgar display of pushing a narrative, wrote Heyman. This past Monday on WWE Raw, Bron Breakker attacked Dragon Lee and Penta during their tag team match against the Vision's Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. On social media, Paul Heyman highlighted Breaker's insane spear to Lee as he ran all the way down to the ramp to take out the former WWE World Tag Team Champion. Heyman wrote the following: "This drone shot is the epitome of why Braun Breaker is the next great long-term WrestleMania main event superstar in WWE. It remains to be seen when Breaker returns to WWE TV." There's trouble brewing for Randy Orton. Randy Orton could be in trouble after a fellow WWE superstar reported him to Triple H. Orton recently returned on SmackDown and will have his first match in months against The Miz this coming Friday in London, England. After taking a hiatus for a few months, the Viper returned a couple of weeks ago to confront The Miz. He delivered an RKO to the loudmouth veteran who wanted to step up and be the locker room leader now that John Cena has officially retired. However, The Miz isn't the only major name who has beef with Randy Orton right now. Logan Paul wasn't too thrilled when Orton called him and Austin Theory out for skipping leg day. On his recent YouTube vlog, Maverick hilariously reported the master of the RKO to Triple H. "Randy sent me a DM and said something like, 'I see you're skipping leg day or something,' but I'm not. I do legs once a week at least. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but you might want to tell these part-timers not to get into it with the full-timer." "Yeah, bro, I'm a full-timer," Paul said. To be fair to Logan Paul, he has been on TV more than Randy Orton over the past few months. Also, for those unaware, Paul was just joking with Triple H. Orton hilariously apologized to Paul after he sent a full image of his legs. SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis announced last week that there would be a WWE Championship number one contenders tournament starting on January 16th in London, England. The qualifiers will consist of 4 one-on-one matches, with the winners competing in a fatal 4-way match at Saturday night's main event on January 24th. The winner will challenge Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton will face The Miz in one of the qualifiers. The other 3 matches are Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa, Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams, and Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins quietly deals with a severe neck issue. While fans knew about Seth Rollins' rotator cuff injury that sidelined him after Crown Jewel 2025, the former world champion has now revealed that wasn't the only physical issue he was dealing with. In a January 14th interview with Complex Sports, Rollins pulled back the curtain on a secret struggle that plagued him throughout most of last year, a chronic neck injury that left him in near constant pain. Rollins explained that the long-term damage from years in the ring was more draining than the acute injuries fans typically hear about. "The chronic ones are worse for me. Like last year, my neck was destroying me. That was really bad. The chronic wear and tear injuries that finally start to catch up to you. That's the most painful stuff, I would say." Seth Rollins' wife, Becky Lynch, also revealed the extreme lengths the visionary went to at home to manage the incredible pain and discomfort. He'd be there constantly having to work out, just trying to get comfortable, like sticking brooms up his armpits to try and get his neck to release, always lying on a lacrosse ball or a foam roller or something. Rollins admitted that the situation was affecting every part of his life, including his ability to simply play with his daughter. He noted how he couldn't even go 30 seconds without fidgeting and had to jam his thumb into his neck, among other things. "During the summer last year, I couldn't go 30 seconds without fidgeting. I was always trying to get into a different position. I'd have to jam my thumb into my neck. It was not fun. Then I'd still have to go to work and wrestle and try to be normal. And the worst part was when your daughter wants to play and you're like, daddy just needs a minute." This brings more understanding to what Rollins endured before tearing his rotator cuff during a match against Cody Rhodes in Perth. That injury led to surgery in late 2025, and he recently said he hopes to return in March 2026, just weeks ahead of WrestleMania 42. Now with a clearer picture of what he's faced, Rollins' eventual return might feel even more meaningful. What do you think about Seth Rollins pushing through such intense pain in 2025? Should WWE have given him more time off earlier? Veteran wrestler dead at only 66 years old. Rick Link has died, according to PW Insider and other reports. The star was 66 years old. Link is one of the most recognizable names in independent wrestling, both in the USA and abroad. During the 1970s and 1980s, before WWE took over wrestling globally, the star was part of quite a few National Wrestling Alliance promotions and wrestled under 3 different names, most notably Man Mountain Link, Sir Richard Lington, and Man-Eating Beast. He wrestled Jerry the King Lawler for the AWA Southern Heavyweight title and was even a part of the infamous feud with Andy Kaufman. Link became the first person to pin Lawler 2 weeks in a row at this time and went on to win multiple titles over the course of his career. Link was a regular part of the On the Mat series in New Zealand, where he was portrayed as an undefeated star. He was also well known for his appearances in Georgia Championship Wrestling, Stampede Wrestling, and Jim Crockett Promotions. Towards the tail end of his career, the star wrestled in the North Carolina independent scene, where he faced several big names like Ricky Morton, Abdullah the Butcher, Wahoo McDaniel, and ran the TNT Training Center. A GoFundMe was opened in his name by his sister some weeks back, when he went into hospice and his dialysis and other measures were discontinued. Unfortunately, the wrestler has now succumbed to his illness. We send our condolences and best wishes to the friends and family of the star at this time.